Yes, I'll start again. This is Tyler of ESPN. This is for Caps. Your father has been almost at every event. Every event I go to, I just see him in the crowd, taking pictures, taking photographs. I've talked to him a few times about how much it means to him to follow you and follow your career. Can you talk about how it means for you to see him at all these events and always following you?
So I'm really happy with the support I get from my family. Not only my dad, but I actually have my mom and my cousin and my other cousin and my aunt as well coming. So just having all the family around me. For example, today when we were eating breakfast, I saw my parents as well, and they just got to say hi. So it means a lot, and it's nice to not feel too separate from my family. At first, when I first joined LEC, obviously it's in a different country, so you can kind of feel like you're not close to your family. But my parents and my family do a lot to keep the family culture, I guess, and make sure we see each other.
This question is for Wonder. It seems like in the previous years you've had some of the home court curse. Can I ask how you're feeling right now going into another match that's going to happen in your home court?
Well, I think playing in front of European fans and stuff like that is of course it's a very good feeling, and it can kind of feel like you have the crowd on your back. But when I go into the game and I just play, I think I don't really care so much about if the fans are cheering for the enemy team or if they're cheering for us. I think I just try and block it all out and play my own game. But of course, if you win or even if you lose, having a lot of support and a lot of fans having your back is always good. Yeah.
This is Tom from Invent Global. My question is for Brad. Your opponents, FPX, have made an impressive run throughout the bracket. What have you learned most about your opponent, and what should your team fear most going into the finals?
Nothing too surprising. I think everybody knows where FPX wants to play, but they're just really good at it. Overall, I feel like both teams will look at the semifinals and think the other team didn't play too well. So I think FPX didn't play too well. They will see us and think we didn't do well against SKT either. So I think, again, in a tournament, teams don't get really better. So both teams will know what to expect. It's just about execution. Maybe having the curveball draft once or twice, but besides that, nothing new will come out, and I think we're well prepared about what FPX wants to do in the game.
Just a quick follow-up. Can you give an update on your player who is not here today, unfortunately?
So yeah, Perps didn't feel too well today in the morning. It's nothing too serious, but we just thought about a precautionary measure not to bring him here so he can rest. But he will be fit for the final, hopefully.
Hello, this is Rory Merz from Sport 1. This is it. Since 2011, it might be the biggest win for the European team. This question is for Grabs. So how do you go as a coach into this game, this final, the biggest final for you in your history, as being a coach, part of a League of Legends company or team?
We approach the game like any other. There's no difference. I mean, of course, the hype is bigger. Suddenly we have a press conference before the game, but I think for the guys and us, it just doesn't matter. It's another opponent. We respect them like anybody else. We prepare for them like anybody else. And then we see who wins. But yeah, we're blocking out the entire noise, or try to. And all that matters is that on stage we can perform right. So all the noise around doesn't matter.
So I have a question for Cap. So you used to be called Baby Faker, but now you defeated him twice, MSI and here at Worlds. So first of all, how do you feel about that, about defeating Faker? And so now, do you consider yourself as a better mid laner than Faker?
So I'm pretty happy that I got to play against Faker. Obviously, it's a guy I've always looked up to a lot. So getting to play him was really nice for me. I don't think I was too happy with my performance in semi-final, but I still think obviously my team did really well and we did really well as a team. So we still ended up getting the win. And I don't really want to compare myself to Faker. Obviously, he won Worlds so many times, and even to this day, he's still one of the greatest mid laners. So I think you can't really compare to Faker unless you win Worlds a lot of times and you can stay at that level for so long. So I have a long way ahead of me if I want to even think about something like that. But I will just try my best and see if I can at least get a beginning to my career and winning Worlds this year.
Hi guys, it's Sue from Sky Sports. This question is for Grabs and Promiscu. I'm not sure which one of you is best placed to answer this, but a lot of fans are being really hyped to see Promiscu this tournament, mainly for the possibility of getting a world skin. Carlos has also teased about this for Sunday's final. Is there a scenario where we will be expecting Promiscu to play, and if so, what would that scenario be?
All jokes aside, unless Carlos actually puts me in a closet and doesn't let me get out, we're not gonna disrespect FPX in a way to say it's gonna be easy. So even if 2-0 up, we have to finish every game with highest respect and highest focus. So yeah, unless I get taken away by Carlos, a special man, then I don't think Hampus will get to play. Unless Mickey, of course, is an unfortunate accident and his wrist break again, then we might see him and then he can break out his. Unfortunately, yeah. And then you can. Don't you dare to get injured now, honestly. But yeah, again, we respect FPX a lot, and I don't think we have the freedom of having fun and bringing in the sub if we don't need to do it in a gameplay decision. So yeah, I think the chances are low. I'm really sorry.
Rip Mickey. Hi, this is Darius from the Shotcaller. My question is directed towards Jankos, in fact. This is now the third time you've been at Worlds, and this is by far the best chance you've had at winning it. You've had a phenomenal year. You won your first titles, won MVP in summer. What would you describe as a key difference for the Jankos right now compared, for example, to the Jankos we saw in HUK in 2016?
Well, I think that the main difference between me right now and me back then is that I actually know how to play the game better. It felt like in 2016 and 18, I was already satisfied with how far we went those years. In both H2K and G2 last year, I didn't expect us to go as far as semifinals. And every time I won on stage, I believed that we can win the whole thing, but before the tournament, I didn't really expect it. This time though is different, as we came after winning 2 times Europe and once MSI. So I knew that we have to perform, and week after week, I didn't really want to go home just yet. So, well, it's the finals now, and I didn't go home yet, and I think we can take the whole thing.
Hey guys, this is Ashley Kang for Horizon and ESPN. I actually have a questions to Caps. It's quite similar to the previous one. You also attended World Final last year. You might be the only player in both of the teams that attend 2 finals consecutively. What is the difference between Caps who were playing for 2018 Worlds Finals and Caps in 2019 who is just about to play for this Worlds Final?
So, I mean, I think throughout my career, I got more and more confidence in myself and my team. I think when I joined the LCS, the West didn't really have a good shot at doing anything internationally. We were not that strong, and it was considered like a huge victory if we even made it out of groups. But nowadays, it kind of as we beat some of the Eastern teams and we actually show up better and better, we get more and more confidence, and we want to go further and further. And I think last year was around the time MSI final and as well as Worlds was around the time where we could actually believe in ourselves to be able to make it to the final and be able to win the World Championship. But I think now we don't just believe in it anymore. We expect it ourselves. We want to be the champions. We want to create a legacy for ourselves, and I think this confidence is probably the biggest difference, and just the trust that we will be able to win on Sunday.
Hi, I'm Eric from Mais Esports Brazil. I have a question for Caps. You're playing against Doinb in this final. If you see Doinb champion pool, sometimes he looks more like a top laner than a mid laner. I want to know if Wonder is helping you in some matchups, and also what do you think about Doinb mechanically and individual skills?
So it's true. I think for sure he plays a lot more like a top laner than most mid laners, and I mean we have been playing someone once against Wonder, but overall it just means I have to prepare for some different champions than most other players, and obviously I'm a player who likes to innovate and come up with some new strategies, so I'll definitely have a few things prepared for Doinb, and it's going to be interesting to see what he has prepared as well. And I mean, rating Doinb, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure where I would put him, since I never went up against him on stage, but I know that he's a really really strong player. It looks like he's leading his team a lot. He does a lot. Like his team basically revolves around him. They are making sure he can roam, and then they roam together and make sure he can take over the game. So it's for sure really important that that we don't let him run around on the map and just take over the game. So I will try my hardest to keep him in mid lane, challenge him for the 1v1, and then see what happens.
So this question is for Caps. Last year, you were in the same press conference right before finals as well. So I want to ask you what you were feeling like before the press conference in last year's finals, and how do you think you have grown both mentally and emotionally in this year's press conference?
I'm not exactly sure how I felt last year. Obviously, I hope we could take down IG, but as to my exact thoughts, I'm not sure. I think I was not necessarily playing too much on the emotions, but more just thinking about preparation, and it's probably the same I'm doing now. I mean, I'm pretty confident we can win on Sunday, but at the same time, most of my thoughts just go towards how we win instead of if we're gonna win or if I'm gonna play well and stuff like that. So I think I just try to focus mostly on how we make it happen.
Hey, Tyler of ESPN. This question is for Mickey X. You and FPX both love to roam around the map. I believe you are number one when it comes to roaming outside of bot lane. Caps is number one when it comes to mid laners roaming outside of mid lane. Do you think this free-flowing, kind of uncaged lane style is kind of the future of League of Legends?
Well, thanks for the question, first of all. And yeah, I think roaming is pretty underrated in League of Legends, I guess. And I think, yeah, a lot of teams just don't respect it enough, especially because there's not as much vision as it was before. And yeah, I mean, I think it's probably gonna be the future of League as well, because no one wanted to watch the boring 40-minute games with just a bunch of vision. And I think it's more fun as well to go around the map and be through the whole map at all times. And yeah.
This question is for Grabs. To my knowledge, no team in the history of League of Legends has ever completed a Grand Slam. SKT nor RNG were able to make it. Can you compare yourselves to SKT and RNG that nearly made Grand Slams and tell us what advantages you would have over them? And also tell us some of the advantages that you think you have going into the finals happening this week.
It's always hard to compare yourself with a team from a different era, let's say in League. League moves so fast that every year it's a different game. So I would not like to compare ourselves to legendary teams who probably were as close as us to actually getting the Grand Slam. Also, this topic itself is not important for us right now. In the end, if we get it, we're really happy, but we're not sitting backstage saying, oh guys, this is our chance to do so. We just want to win Worlds and that's it. The big advantage again for G2 the entire year with these players is that basically everything can be played anywhere. And FPX is Doonby in that sense, that he can play anything, but I have 5 players who can play anything. So it's mostly just about collecting these ideas and making sure the draft is playable, which sometimes happens pretty well, sometimes not. Depends on my daily form. But yeah, I think just again, we're a very creative team in draft and how we play the game out. And as Caps already said, it's more about shutting down doing these roams. And if we do it correctly, I think we're gonna have a good shot. And then afterwards, we can compare ourselves to SKT and RNG of those years.
We'd especially like to thank Krzysztof Bujnowicz, Erich Althaus, Lukas Legal, Lazy Raven and Adam Novosviat for your continuous and very special support, and of course all the people whose names you see scrolling past you right now. We have a lot of amazing projects and of course Worlds 2019 in Europe coming up, so thank you so much for supporting us and enabling us to do our work. Thank you.